Hi guys, so moving on to 6G part 2. At this stage we're not really introducing any new math. All we're doing is understanding what we've done when we've come across a model. Okay, so if we're looking at a model, we need to be able to tell what's happening. And we've done that pretty easily when we've replaced the y values with the value and the x values with something. So in the one in example 10, they've got a tank which they're filling up, and it fills up in a linear way. Okay, so it means it's like a square or a cylinder or something like that. It goes up at a constant rate as you put a constant amount of water in. So they've done what we did before. They've replaced the y with a volume. Okay, so that volume is increasing after a certain amount of minutes. So this is a scenario where they're pouring water into a tank. Once we understand that, the rest is pretty straightforward. So interpreting and using this information is what this little part section is all about. When we have a look at the example, the question is how much water is in the tank at the start. So once again, we know that A is our starting point, and we know that that's around about here. If we're reading off this graph, we're looking at 200, 400, 600, 8, so every 200 increments. Okay, so we've just looked at the graph and found that, which means it's starting at 200. So how much water is in the tank after 10 minutes? Once again, we're going to start looking at the graph. So I'm going along here for 10 minutes, going up a bit till we hit the line, then going back across, and I'm finding I've got 1200 litres after 10 minutes. Once again, all we're doing is reading and interpreting. Okay, this is really important. The next bit we start really doing other mathy things with this. We have to really get familiar with what this all means. So the tank holds 2,000 litres. Okay, so that's a maximum. How long does it take to fill? So we've got 2,000, so it gets up to 2,000 here. We know at that point is when it's full. So this is going the opposite way. So now we go down to the time. The time from the graph is 18 minutes. And it's presuming that because we've already got 200 at the start and it's only taking that time, so we're presuming that it takes to fill from when we started looking at it. Okay, so the next one's finding the equation in the line in terms of V and T. This is identical to the 6C and D where we found equations for the straight line. Okay, the only difference being is we've got a V and a T instead of an X and a Y. So nothing new so far. Use your calculation to calculate the volume of water in the tank after 15 minutes. Okay, so if we find that equation from the graph, I'll just put here in my sketch pretty quickly. So we know that A equals 200, B equals the gradient. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to do a rise over run, and I am going to go, say, from 200 to 600. Okay, that makes it 400 up. So I'm going to go rise is 400. We could, if you're not very good at this and you always go back, just pick another point and then do it with the formula. The run, if I go up from 200 to 600, I'm going across from 0 to 4 minutes. Okay, 400 over 4 equals 100. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my equation. Y equals 200 plus 100t. Oops, I put a y in. I shouldn't have, should I? Okay, that's our standard form, but we've actually got a volume. Volume, okay, and t. So we've done that. Once again, that was no new stuff there. The only difference being we got V and T. Use the equation to calculate the water after 15 minutes. So if we looked here at 15 minutes, it's halfway between there. We'd expect it to work out at 1700. So let's see what happens. So T equals 15. So V equals 200 plus 100 times 15. Okay, 1700, and that matches to what we expected to see here if we drew our line along there. Okay, so at what rate is the water pumped into the tank? That is, how many litres are pumped into the tank each minute. I'm going to let you guys think about that, because we've already done this. It's only a matter of picking the right piece of information out of all of this stuff that we've been given. Okay? Think about what the A and the B mean when you're looking at y equals A plus bx, or in this case V equals 200 plus 100t. What do these two numbers mean? Right, have a think about that. If you can't answer them, scroll down the page, and if you have any questions, come back to me. Thanks, guys.